Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. And today I'll be reading a multi-character extruder and also, hey Genshin fans, have you done the Archon quest? Yes, I am in tears. But anyway, let's get into it. Child. Well, you and Child met in a kind of weird situation. You were out of Mora, and you were just going to buy some meal, and the restaurant owner was siding with you because you weren't paying for your food, and Child just so happened to pass by. And he said that he could never let a beautiful lady like you fall in trouble just because of some Mora. He paid for your food and then took you out to get some ice cream. And that's how your journey began. He was sweet, charming, and somehow he's always at the right place at the right time. Child was just exhaustingly perfect. And from then on, he was your walking wallet. Most of the time, though, you wouldn't want to let him pay. But he just doesn't like you paying when he's present. And he makes sure that all the Fatui diplomats that are deployed in Liyue or Mondstadt or wherever you're going always take care of you and around. He doesn't want anything happening to you. He's so protective. And even though it seems creepy at first, you kind of get used to it. And also, you can tell he has no ill intentions. Albedo. Well, about that. You kind of looked silly, and you were embarrassed. Well, you might ask why. And here's the answer. You went to Dragon's Spire on your own without asking anyone or telling anyone. And there you were. Stuck. Pleading for help. Because you fell and now your ankle was bleeding. And your knees too. You were in a lot of pain and it was so cold and you were not prepared for this at all. And this is your passing out. You saw a figure walking towards you. And you just hoped, with all that you had, that it was someone friendly enough to help. And you were right. It was Albedo. You woke up in Mondstadt, and he was hovering over you, so close nearby. And he was always so sweet, with that soft smile of his, the encouragement he gave you, and the warnings. And next time you wanted to go, he actually told you to come with him, which is an opportunity that many would dream of in Mondstadt. He just admired your spirit, determination, and something about you was urging him to go out with you. And maybe this was a subtle way you could do it, to know if his feelings were in the right place. And they were, because Albedo was never mistaken. There was something special about you, and that was the start of your relationship. Venti, you were a big fan of him, always having listened to his songs, and he inspired you to become a singer of your own, and play an instrument too. And soon, he saw you, and recognized your song, because he'd heard it by many people. You've gotten quite popular. And he took an autograph from you, smiling, and he had that sunshine smile, that sweet giggle that just could kill anyone, with any foot from hearing it. And you decide that you want to be friends, at the very least, if not something more. And you decided to take him out to the tavern. And he got drunk, and you had to take care of him. And that was that. And apparently, every time ever since, he never goes to a tavern without you. He just wants someone to be with him, and your fun company. And you could tell what happened from there. Kazuha, you were a fighter. He knew that much, seeing you fighting the treasure hoarders who were trying to kidnap a child for ransom. It was insane, and maybe you weren't strong enough, but like hell we were just gonna sit there and see it happen. And remember what I said about you not being strong enough? Yeah, that was exactly the problem here, because merely a few minutes in, and you were out, injured, and they were going to hurt you even more. As one of them grabbed the child tightly, going to drag them away. and something as swift as wind, movements fast, and you couldn't even register what happened. But in a mere minute, all the treasure hoarders were down, the child safe again, anew in a gentle stranger's arms. You soon came to know that the stranger in question was Kazuha, and he was the gentlest human being to ever exist. He took care of you for a week after, and then you decided to be friends. And from there, you went to the Crooks to go on an adventure, and you got closer ever since. Scaramouche, you actually came to Snake first, unlike Traveler, who started out in Mondstadt. Your journey might have started from the opposite end. And Scaramouche, he was just this scary person, this harbinger who terrified everyone. And you were actually very terrified, probably the most terrified person in the city, because you were a crybaby. You would see one of those harbingers and hide, because you did not want trouble with them. You did not want to get in any sort of trouble. And apparently, harbingers were not the only people who would get you in trouble. Because somehow, there were a million ways to get in trouble in Snejnaya, and you couldn't perfectly avoid each and every one of them. Which is why you were in an alleyway, someone holding a knife to your neck as they robbed you, while you cried softly, begging them to just go and leave. And Scaramouche came up on the scene. He looked at you crying, and the man who kept mocking you, and hit him hard enough that you were sure he might actually not wake up again. You were terrified. And, even worse, you thought he was going to hurt you too. But instead, he returned your wallet, and gave you a strange look. You couldn't decipher what it was. Something of sympathy, but something also like hatred, regret, and deep sadness was in his eyes. Ever since that day, though, Scaramouche would get really protective over you. But it would take a very, very long time for the two of you to ever get close again. When he runs away from the Fatui, he takes you with him. Because he wants you. He's really protective over you. And that's what he says anyway. But in truth, those feelings, they were much more than anything else that he's ever felt. And they might be oddly similar to this thing he knows that's called love. Xiao actually sees you when you were going to the chasm and stops you, firm. And soon after an accident happens, and you took care of him after. Since the Traveler and Yalan couldn't, and they told you since you're a nurse, you would do a great job of taking care of him, and a service for Leo. And you were more than okay with that. He protected you from going in there, when you foolishly would have, just to get this material that someone asked you for. And after that, he grew soft for you, as he spent the whole week with you just making sure he covers, making him food, and warm drinks, and talking with him in your free time. Eventually, you just become sort of friends, and he finds himself at peace in your company. And soon after, he also finds himself wanting to be with you more and more. And then, your mere presence isn't just enough. And you know what happens, don't you?